I'm someone who loves trying out different makeup looks, but doesn't really wear much on a daily basis, so I like to focus on making sure I have high quality staples. And whether you like a fresh face, full glam, or somewhere in between, you've probably seen Thrive Cosmetics Viral Tubing Mascara. I've certainly seen it everywhere, you know, the one in the turquoise tube? So that mascara, along with all of Thrive Cosmetics beauty products, are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free, which I look for in makeup, and they've got excellent quality to match. And something I didn't know from all the mascara videos I've seen is that for every product sold, Thrive Cosmetics donates either that same product, another product that is needed more, or a monetary donation. They've worked with over 500 nonprofits to help with a wide range of causes like supporting cancer survivors, people experiencing homelessness, education access, and so much more. Knowing that makes me feel even better about using their products. And I do enjoy using them. Like I said, I like having high quality staples, and so my favorites are products that are multi-purpose, like the Brilliant Eye Brightener. It comes in a bunch of colors, and I like using them as eyeliner, eyeshadow, and even highlighter. Thrive Cosmetics is luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order. Calling all lovers of mystery and fans of a good story. If you haven't already heard me talk about June's Journey, you're in for a treat. It's time to don your detective hat in this free hidden object mobile game that delves into the captivating journey of June Parker, a self-proclaimed detective on a quest to unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's untimely death. In June's Journey, you get to play as June, deciphering clues and unveiling secret plots within thousands of beautifully illustrated scenes. And did I mention it's set in the glitzy 1920s? New chapters are added weekly, so you will never run out of new thrills to uncover, and you can also personalize and decorate your very own Orchid Island where the story takes place. How sharp are your detective skills? Find out when you download June's Journey on your Android or iOS device, or play online via Facebook Games. Your detective journey awaits.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone up here? Is anyone up here? Mrs. Ward? Mrs. Ward? Mrs. Ward?
Are you all right, Sergeant?
Sergeant?
It's just hard to have to go over it again.
I'm sure it is.
It's taken me a long time to come to terms with it all, and... well, the thing is...
What is it, Sergeant?
Well, I submitted my report. I spoke to the other officers months ago.
I understand. I do. The thing is, if you remember, your original report was written only a short time after the events of last April. Understandably, you were extremely exhausted.
You had just come out of a coma. You've been in hospital for over a month.
I know.
Look, we can take a break and get you some tea or coffee, perhaps.
No, thank you. I just don't understand why I'm here, sir.
It is possible something may have been missed.
All I got was a letter telling me to report to the station today. I thought it might have been about me coming back to work. I had no idea you wanted to go through everything again.
As Inspector Carey has said, this is a new Joint Forces investigation, set up to look at what I'm sure you appreciate more than most are extraordinary and tragic events, so that we may, at last, get to the bottom of what occurred that Easter week. There are still so many unanswered questions, as you know. But you can rest assured, Sergeant, that anything you tell us will be treated confidentially.
Can I ask exactly which joint forces are involved?
I'm sure you must recognise, today of all days, Sergeant, that the repercussions of what happened on Tullamore are far-reaching. So by necessity, our investigation has widened to involve not only the island and Scottish police forces, but also the Met in London and even Europol and beyond. Inspector Carey here is New Scotland Yard, and I'm from the Home Office. We're here to give you the opportunity to provide us with, a little more detail.
But I've already said everything, sir. I don't know what else I can add.
There are no photos, Sergeant, no forensics, no other witnesses.
After all you went through, the physical injuries, the trauma you suffered, perhaps now, after several months of convalescence, leave and rest, you may be able to shed a little more light on these events. Believe me, Jackie, we're on your side and greatly appreciate any help you can give us, so please, may we continue?
For the record, Sergeant O'Hara has nodded her affirmation.
Thank you. Inspector?
So, what did you do, Sergeant? What did you do immediately after you discovered the bodies?
I looked for the girl. Elizabeth! Elizabeth!
I searched everywhere, all through the rest of the house. The bedrooms, the bathroom, the attic.
Elizabeth!
Downstairs, at the back of the kitchen. One door was padlocked. The basement was dark, full of old boxes and rubbish.
Elizabeth! Are you down here?
I looked anywhere she could have been hiding or trapped, or where a body might have been hidden.
Elizabeth!
But it was no good.
Frank!
When I got back up, poor old Frank was in a terrible state.
Frank, are you okay?
He was sitting there, in the dark, white as a sheet.
She goes by the name of Twig.
What's that?
The girl. Always been a strange sort of lassie. So tall and thin. Hence Twig.
He may not have liked the wards, but he'd lived alongside them for decades.
Here, drink this. Just rest here, Frank. I'll find her and come back, all right?
The wards had been dead for hours, and their bodies were cold, with rigor mortis already setting in. So our best hope was that she'd escaped the house during the attack and run off.
Twig! Can you hear me? Twig! Where are you?
I looked in the barn, the stables, the chicken shed. There was no sign of her.
Twig!
Out in the fields, away from the house, it was no better.
Twig! Are you there?
I drove around for 20 minutes or more, trying to use the headlights. But it was hopeless. All I could see was a wall of rain.
It's no good, Frank. We'll have to get some help.
I have to cover them up.
Frank.
We can't leave them like that. It's not right.
Listen, Frank. You did well to call me, thank you. But this is a crime scene now. We mustn't touch anything. I have to get specialist officers over from Glasgow and we need to find Twig.
There'll be no crossing from the mainland in this.
I know, but I have to get back to Dorry and try and make contact at least. You should come with me.
I can't. I have to get back to my Sarah.
Of course. You get home to your wife.
You won't get a signal here.
No, nothing.
You can borrow my walkie-talkie. It's in the truck. Sarah's got the other. Let me know when you get back.
Thanks. I will. Come on.
You take care. You hear?
I will, Frank. You too.
Did you not suspect Mr. Guthrie at all?
What do you mean?
He had the opportunity, and from what you've told us, the motive. He could have killed the wards and then called you.
No, Mum, not Frank. Besides, he was too old to kill 3 people on his own like that. Whoever did it had to be strong. Anyway, I soon had my prime suspect, didn't I?
Well, as I said, let's not jump ahead. We need to go through everything in detail and in order, please.
Of course. The devil is in the detail.
Sorry, what's that?
Nothing.
So you got back in your truck, or rather Mr. McFarlane's truck, and drove back to Dorry?
Yes. I kept a lookout for the girl as I went, but I couldn't see anything off the road.
Sergeant O'Hara here. Hello? Yeah, I can just hear you. Can you speak up, please? What? Who is this? Hello? Can you hear me?
Mummy, help me!
Oh my God. Who is this? Is that you?
It hurts, Mummy! Please help me!
Davey? Is that really you? Davey! Davey, what's wrong? Davey! Oh, God, no. Oh, Jesus! Twig? Twig, is that you?
She was just standing there, by the side of the road, soaked to the skin.
It's okay. It's all right, Twig.
She was such an unusual-looking girl, so tall for her age, with long red hair, but so skinny and frail.
Are you all right? I'm Sergeant O'Hara.
She was shivering so hard. Her hair was all stuck to her face in the rain. I reached out and brushed it clear, and as I did, I remember her eyes. They were this bright, piercing green. And they were terrified.
Come on, let's get you in the truck.
She had this look, like she'd... I don't know. But my worst fear was that she'd witnessed what had happened at the farm.
Here you go. Here, take this. Let's try and get you dry. What's that? What did you say, love? I can't quite understand you, Twig. Go slower. He is... What? Coming? He's coming. Is that it?
Chuck.
Who is? Who's coming, love? Who's coming?
Do you ever wonder who's looking over your shoulder when you're exploring the web? Do you want to keep tracking cookies, curious websites, and your internet service provider from sniffing out too much about your browsing activity? What about gaining the ability to virtually travel to different parts of the world and reshape your internet experience? Well, enter NordVPN. NordVPN protects your internet privacy and lets you go borderless. You can experience sporting events and entertainment that aren't available in your region. When you're on the go, NordVPN protects your data while accessing public Wi-Fi, and in tandem with the Nord Threat Protection Service, protects you from malicious downloads, viruses, and phishing sites. Best of all, this protection is laser fast, so avoid buffering and lagging while streaming or gaming, and stop your ISP from bandwidth throttling. If you've never used a VPN before, you may be surprised how much your internet experience is shaped by what country of origin you're believed to be from. I've actually had quite a bit of fun using NordVPN as a learning tool with my kids. We change around our virtual location, go to different countries, revisit familiar websites from a new country of origin, and see how things are different. For the cost of a cup of coffee a month, your NordVPN account can be used on up to 6 devices. So why wait? Get the best discount off your NordVPN plan by going to nordvpn.com/undertow. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. And there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/undertow.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But we also sell merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell and grow at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. They have an all-in-one e-commerce platform and in-person POS system, so wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. With the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. Shopify has allowed us to share something tangible with the podcast community we've built here, selling our beanies, sweatshirts, and mugs to fans of our shows without taking up too much time from all the other work we do to bring you even more great content. And it's not just us. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Shopify is also the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/REALM now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm. You can shop from anywhere doing pretty much anything. You might shop while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast. And however you shop, we all know and love the thrill of the hunt. But do you also know how to get the thrill of the best deals? Because Rakuten shoppers do. With Rakuten, they get the deals they love with the most savings and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Sephora, Nike, and even Expedia if you're looking to get some travel in. And getting cash back doesn't mean you have to miss out on sales because those can just be stacked right on top. It's easy to use and based on a simple idea. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back through PayPal or check. Download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's RAKUTEN.
I couldn't get anything else out of her for the rest of the journey. She just stared out the window, mumbling as though she was looking for someone, all the way back.
What time did you get to Dory?
Very late, around midnight. My first priority was the girl's welfare, but the surgery was long closed. What passes for the police station on the island is just an old 2-room storehouse, nothing more. There's an office in a single cell. It's pretty nasty. So I couldn't take her there. She was in such a state she needed professional care, and I wanted to have her checked over, physically, so I took her to see Nurse Forbes at her house.
Nurse Karen Forbes, the island's medic.
Yes, Mom.
Forbes? Was you related to the fisherman Alan Forbes at all?
Yes. She was his wife.
You'll be all right, love. Karen will help you.
Jackie, you all right? Is that Twig Ward you got there? Ah, love, you look terrible. What's wrong? Cochina grai.
That's all she's been saying this past half hour. Look, Alan, I'm sorry about this, but I really need Karen's help.
Of course. Come on.
He went and woke up Nurse Forbes, who was very surprised to see us, obviously, but also very sympathetic. The Forbeses had a young son, about 18 months old at that time, I think, so Nurse Forbes, Karen, had to check on him first, then... Well, she and I tried to dry the girl off and get her changed. It was hard.
Twig, it's me. Nurse Karen, you remember? I treated you once when you fell out of that tree up at the bar. Don't you remember? You broke your arm, you poor thing. Ay, Kershkulur, Twig. What's she saying? She doesn't want me to touch her.
She didn't seem to know what was going on, so In the end, to calm her down, Karen decided it was best to let her use the bathroom by herself while we stood just outside waiting.
What's happened to her? She's in such a state.
The Ward farm was attacked earlier today.
What?
Yeah, look, it's bad, I'm afraid. Her mum, the whole family were... Well done, love. That looks a lot more comfortable.
I'm sorry that dressing gown isn't exactly your size, but...
I've made some tea. You feeling any better now, Twig?
She needs to rest. Twig, I want you to come through here. You can have our spare room all to yourself, okay?
Oh, it's all right, come on. Let's get you settled and Nurse Karen can give you something to help you sleep.
I led her through to the bedroom. We managed to get her down eventually. Karen gave her a couple of sleeping pills, then, when she was calmer, managed to check her for injuries. She hadn't been physically harmed, but it was obvious she was in deep shock. Afterwards, the three of us sat in the lounge and I told them what had happened.
Christ. No wonder she's in such a state.
Poor thing must have seen it all.
I don't know.
That must have been terrible for you too, Jackie. You all right?
I'm fine.
Have you any idea who might have done such a thing?
No, not yet, but it must have been planned. They took their time, so... Look, Alan, I have to get forensics to the island as soon as possible.
Well, I haven't been able to get anything on the radio for hours. Bloody main mast's down. Joe, Turney and some of the other boats are still not back. They must be sitting out in the mainland. And it's only going to get worse.
Well, one thing's for sure. We can't tell anyone here on the island about the wards.
What do you mean? Surely people have to know.
No, they can't. Not yet.
She's right, Carl. If we start telling everyone there's a murder on the island, then, well, you know what they're like.
We can't have them taking the law into their own hands.
It'll be hard to keep it quiet, and don't we need to warn people that they might be in danger?
What's that?
Oh, Frank's radio. He lent it me.
Lad, can you hear me?
Hello, Frank?
Can you hear me, lad? Come to the bar. You get a woman. It's the whole thing's on fire.
What's that, Frank?
He's gone up to the farm. He's gone up. And the bastard's still here. If you don't come, the woman, I'm going to shoot him.
Who's there? You're breaking up.
Hilary!
Frank!
Burn it all down.
Frank? Shit, I'm gonna have to go back up there.
Well, I'll come with you.
No, stay with Twig.
Fuckers that, man. You're not driving about out there on your own again. Like, not in this. Karen will stay with her, can't you, love? Karen?
Of course. You go.
Come on, then.
So Alan Forbes and I drove back to the bar.
What was all that about?
What?
Karen, the way she looked at you. She didn't want you coming with me.
No, she's fine.
Alan, does she know?
What, about us? No, of course she doesn't. No one does.
Just to be clear, there is no us, okay? It was one time, that's all.
I know. You said.
Then why was she being like that?
Look, it's complicated, but basically we've split up.
Really?
Aye.
When did this happen?
Oh, about a month ago. Tried telling you and the crew earlier, but it doesn't matter now. It's fine, she just thinks it's all because of someone else, which it's not, but she just suspects, you know?
But, Alan, you've got a child.
Hey, watch out! It's alright. You're okay.
Shit!
It's okay. Look, I swear she doesn't know.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. You know, it's none of my business.
Okay.
What if It's just seeing all that up at the farm. I'm a little out of my depth here, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't be?
Alan tried to contact Frank on the way to get more information. It was no good. But when we turned onto the valley road, we soon saw why he'd called me back up there.
Fuck, look at that, Maria.
Oh, God.
The Ward farmhouse was a raging inferno, lighting up the whole night.
Frank!
Frank, where are you?
The flames were leaping 30 foot into the air.
Frank!
The heat coming from it was incredible,
Frank!
even in the storm.
Over here!
He'd taken shelter in the barn. He was standing there with a shotgun in his hands.
You're right, Frank!
I could do nothing about the fire. Not on my own. Sarah saw it from her house, but it was already set by the time I got back down here. Come inside. I got something to show you.
In the centre of the barn, in the shadows, there was a large figure on the ground. As I moved in slowly, I saw it was a man sitting cross-legged.
I found the bastard just standing there, watching the place go up in flames. He's poured petrol all about it. There's no chance of saving anything.
This man, in your original report, you describe him as having long black hair and a beard, and being well over 6 foot.
He was huge, tall, thick-set. His eyes were dark brown, almost black, and he had this big scar that ran across his left cheek. He was very striking and extremely strong-looking. There wasn't an ounce of fat on him for all his size. He looked to me like he was of Middle Eastern extraction.
Anything else? What was he wearing?
He had a long, thick coat, old and worn, gloves, heavy boots.
Homeless?
Maybe, but more like well-travelled. I mean, they weren't cheap, his clothes, just worn. I can't remember what else, really. But the thing was, he just sat there, calm as you like, staring right back at us. He never flinched, never looked anything but absolutely certain.
Certain of what?
Of what he was doing, what he'd done. I could tell immediately he was extremely dangerous.
It's okay, Frank.
Get well, Frank. We've got him now.
Just lower the gun, will you?
He had done well. Amazingly well. He'd caught this man and tied his hands and feet together, seemingly all without a struggle.
Who are you? What's your name?
He's not said a word. Foreign by the look of it. Probably speaks no English.
Do you? Do you speak English?
It's no use, girl. I've been on at him for a while now. You're wasting your time.
Are you in charge?
Well, would you listen to that? The brazen bastard.
Whoa, Frank, it's all right. Point the gun away.
The stranger was looking at me, like he was assessing me, sizing me up or something.
I'm Sergeant O'Hara of the island's police force.
He had this kind of intense stare that bored right into you. It was very powerful and disconcerting.
Then, Sergeant O'Hara, you and I need to talk.
Let's face it, when you're a parent, finding the time and energy to do things that are just for you can be tough, right? You know you want to work out more. You know you want to take care of that errand that's been looming over your head. You want to keep up with the news so you can sound smart at work or with family and friends. But I get it. Catching up can feel like a lot, even on your chillest days. And while I can't convince you to go to the gym, I do think I can help with one thing. I'm Brad Mielke. I'm the host of Start Here, a daily podcast from ABC News, where each morning we run down the latest news in a quick, straightforward way. And at just 20 minutes, Start Here is perfect for your commute or popping on while you're finally checking that nagging errand off your list. This isn't like other daily news podcasts. We give just enough context so you can listen, figure out what's going on, wrap it up, and get on with your day. Follow Start Here and let us catch you up when it works for you. Start Here from ABC News, wherever you get your podcasts.
Greetings, adventurers. Today we're excited to introduce you to a new story, Dark Dice, a horror podcast that blurs the line between actual play and audio drama, where the story is determined by the roll of the dice. 6 adventurers embark on a journey into the ruinous domain of the Nameless God. They will never be the same again. One of the players is not what they seem after a doppelganger, a creature that can assume the form and voice of whatever it kills, infiltrates the team. As the players are picked off and replaced one at a time, can they figure out who the monster is before it's too late? Can you? Here's a quick example of what our show sounds like.
The shambler with the jar of liquid inside of him.
Soren Arkwright let loose an arrow that cracked the glass, passing through the spine of the creature. The shambler still managed to maintain its forward momentum, but stumbled as it eagerly tried to bite and swipe at Soren, landing near his feet. As Jeff Goldblum has now joined our cast, Dark Dice is available however you listen to podcasts.